my sewing friends. Let's talk about Simplicity 9223. I'm Jen, and this is my sewing room where I made this. This is Simplicity 9223. It was released in 2021. I'm finally wearing something that I've made that's actually in the books. I don't know, I've been on a roll working through my stash of patterns, and I'm always making vintage things, but not this time. This time I made this, and you can clear right off the bat see that it looks different from this, doesn't it? Yes. Well, I made this from a cotton, it's not a quilting cotton, it's not calico cotton, it's just cotton. You know, it's just a cotton print. It's probably got some polyester in it, probably like 50-50 or something like that. I got this on my sewcation last year with my girlfriends in Miami. And I just loved the print. You know, it's very Hawaiian. And so let me tell you some of the details about this experience. First of all, it's called a pleated dress, and it calls for batiks, chambray, cotton sateen, cotton types, gabardine, jacquards, lightweight denim, linen types, poplin, stretch wovens. I would agree with all those things. So it says that you need extra fabric if you're going to match plaid, stripes, or one-way design fabrics. Well, that kind of goes without saying, doesn't it? You do need to put a zipper up the back like that. I put an invisible zipper in. And it's fairly close fitting, depending on what size you make. I think I made a 14. I took smaller seam allowances, which I often do. I pretty much always take a 1/2 inch seam allowance, but it fits closely on me. It really does. You can see. And I don't think this is going to get a lot of rotation in my wardrobe because I don't often hold my stomach in, and if I don't, then I can look kind of wide. Well, let me tell you some things about this. It's not rated like easy, advanced, hard, intermediate. It's not rated like that. It's rated, well, it's not. It doesn't say easy. I wouldn't call it easy because of some of the things that it tells you to do. So, yeah, I would say it's probably intermediate because you have to put in a zipper, and there are some things associated with these pleats that are just kind of out there, which I didn't do. So it has some nice asymmetrical style lines in that you have a center front seam, you have a French dart, and then you've got these pleats which come out of the darts. On the bottom, they're actual like box pleats. Well, they're not like box pleats, but they're pleats, wide pleats. And so, basically you make the dart, and then the dart just comes down and releases there. It does have a facing for the neckline, and then it's got bias bound armholes. So I just used, what did I use? I think I made bias binding out of this, yeah. So you can make your own or just purchase bias binding, but that's how they call for it to be done. It does fit close. And I had a few problems with it. Okay, first of all, the neckline. The neckline came up so high on me that I thought, no. I either was going to cut it in a wider scoop, just do a round neckline, or I decided to go with a square because I thought, well, I could do a square neckline. It kind of lent itself to the way that the fabric or the design was. It's a lot of lines, straight lines, and I thought, well, that would kind of draw that out, So went ahead and did that. It wants you to top stitch these darts going down here where the pleats release, and the way they tell you to do it is to cut a piece of fabric and then overlay that on the inside on the darts, and then top stitch it down. And I thought, what? I'm not doing that. I just top stitched the dart, and I would advise that you do the same. I mean, it tells you to start, a little ways down, like, I don't know, an inch down from the top of the dart, and then just top stitch this piece on in the, no. I just thought, that's lunacy. I'm not doing that. So I didn't. And I put the pockets in, but the pockets as they were marked on the pattern, it has side seam pockets, they were too high. And so I recut them and put them in at a height which works more for me. on the pockets, I stitched down a little further where they start, and I did that just to kind of reinforce them a little bit. And then I just did a basic hem, just a 1/2 inch hem that I top stitched. The armholes on this are pretty tight, and I don't know if that's because of the size that I made or if it's because they're just cut that way. I don't know. And I mean, I'm tempted to think that they're just cut small because of how high it came up on the neckline. But I mean, you know, you can follow the pattern if you're one of those kind of people that does that. It does have a sleeve option, and I opted not to do that because I live in a place where I like wearing things sleeveless. So yeah, it's a beautiful dress, but like I say, I don't think it's going to get much rotation in my wardrobe because it fits so closely, and I would need to wear shapewear, and that makes me hot. I don't want to do that. So although I like the print and I like the way that the dress looks on, one thing I thought about is getting a belt, like a wide belt to put on it, because if I had a belt, I would probably wear it at least more often than I anticipate wearing it. So I do like the fabric a lot, and I like the feel of it because it's very lightweight. And so can I recommend this pattern? Well, yes, but not to a beginner, because what they're going to tell you in those instructions is just lunacy. I have no idea why they would tell you to do it that way when it's just so much easier to go ahead and top stitch those darts down like they are. Ugh. Anyway, yes, I would recommend it, but with the caveats that I just told you. Be aware that the armholes are tight. They come up kind of high. You may need to lower them. That neckline is going to probably have to be redrawn. And when you do that, don't forget to redraw your facing and, top stitch the darts down. And you'll need to be able to put in some kind of a zipper, whether it's an all-purpose zipper or an invisible one. So if you can handle those things, then you should be fine. But I don't know that a beginner is going to know how to redraw a neckline or lower armholes. So if you're not up to that, then I would say no, I wouldn't recommend it to you. But, you know, if you've been sewing a long time and you don't have any problem with that, yeah. Like I say, it is slim fitting. So, you know, I tend to like a dress that's much more loose than this, but that's me. So, you know. So that's how I feel about Simplicity 9223. If you have any questions for me about the way I did this or any of the details, then just let me know in the comments and I will do my best to answer those. As always, if you would like to see a playlist of all of my pattern reviews, then have a look right over here. And I will see you next time. Let me leave you with this. One of my favorite scriptures in the Bible is in the Old Testament. It's by a prophet named Micah. And he said, do justice, love mercy, and walk humbly with your God. These are things that I strive to do every day, and I hope you do too.